Parshas Tetzaveh, Tafshin Ayin Tes. So as we move along, talking about the Mishkan, the different aspects, different angles of the Mishkan, this week we move a little bit to a different theme, and the Parsha begins, V'ato Tetzaveh es Bnei Yisrael. We're giving a commandment to the Bnei Yisrael, V'yikchu elecha shemen zayis zoch, Kosis Lamaor, to get the best of the best olive oil, lahalois ner tomid, to light the ner tomid, to light the menorah. And Nesivos Shalom tells us that the word tomid at the end of this pasuk would seem to tell us that there's a certain nitzchias, that there is a tomid, there's something that's going to be forever, that we are now speaking about. And Chazal tell us that when the Nesiim brought their korbanos for the Chanukas HaMizbeach, Aaron HaKoyin had Chalishas Hadas. Aaron HaKoyin was a little bit upset, and he was worried, and he had Chalishas Hadas that his shevet was not involved in the Chanukas HaMizbeach. As we know, the Nesiim were the Chanukas HaMizbeach, and they brought the Karbonos, but Shevet Levi, the tribe of Aaron HaKoyin, they weren't involved, and it bothered Aaron HaKoyin why he and his Shevet could not be involved. So Hashem told Aaron that, you know something, Aaron HaKoyin, don't be worried. Don't let this get you down. You know why? Because you, Aaron HaKoyin, you are destined for even greater things. And what are those greater things? The Karbonos are only there while the Beis HaMikdash is there. Karbonos are a thing that took place while there was a Mishkan, while there was a Beis HaMikdash. But Hashem said, Aaron HaKoyin, you should know, but the nearest that are lit, you're going to be the one to light the menorah. That is going to be forever. So don't worry that there are karbonos for the Chanukas HaMizbeach that you are not part of. Don't worry about that, because you have something. You have the lighting of the menorah, and that is forever. And the Mefarshim, specifically, of course, the Ramban in Parshas Bahaloischa and other Mefarshim too, they ask the obvious question that I'm sure everybody has on their minds right now. We all know when the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, they stopped lighting the menorah too. So why are we telling Aaron HaKoyin that the Karbonos were only when there was a Beis HaMikdash? But you, Aaron HaKoyin, you have something. You have the menorah. The menorah is lit forever. We know that they stopped lighting the menorah also when there was a Churban Beis HaMikdash. And although we actually say, Chazal tell us that the menorah was among those kelim, and we all know there are interesting stories about it, the menorah was one of the kelim that were not destroyed. The menorah was nignaz. We don't light the menorah, but the menorah was never destroyed. The menorah was put away. And the question on that is also why the menorah was among the kelim that were not destroyed. And Chazal tell us which other kelim weren't destroyed. They were all very spiritual, not such physical things. They were things which were lamaila min hateva. We know the Aron, right? The Aron, we say, was never destroyed. After the first Beis HaMikdash, the Aron was put away. The Aron was lost. The Aron was nignaz. It was archived, but it was never destroyed. The Aron, we know, was a spiritual thing. The Eish min HaShamayim, that also we say was put away. It was never destroyed. Ruach HaKodesh, this concept of Ruach HaKodesh was put away. The Ruach HaKodesh that was there during the times of the Beis HaMikdash, that was put away. The Kruvim were also nignaz. The Kruvim were archived. They were put away, not destroyed. And all these things are spiritual things. But what brought the menorah into this group of things that were l'mayla min hateva, Why was it that the menorah was put away amongst all these spiritual things? Why not the other kalim? Why just the menorah went along with this? And so too, once we are talking about the menorah being special, why was it that the menorah, dafka the menorah, was the one thing that was too difficult for Moshe Rabbeinu to make? Nobody was able to make the menorah. And Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, take this block of gold, throw it into the fire, and the menorah will be formed. Why was it that the menorah was so difficult to make? They had done very difficult things in the building of the Mishkan and all the Kalim and everything, but the menorah was special and unique in this way also, that only the menorah could not be made. It had to be thrown into a fire. Hashem suggested, throw it into a fire and the menorah would be formed. So Nesivos Shalom tells us, the Gemara, Masechta Chagiga, Daf Yud Beis, Amar Aleph, the Gemara tells us that the light that was originally created at Brias HaOlam, there was a light, and that light was a spiritual light. The world was created with a spiritual light, and it was a light that one could see across the entire world with that light. That's the way the world was created. But then Hashem saw that we wouldn't be able to survive this light. We can't keep this light here. And Hashem took that light and He put it away for the tzaddikim la'asid lavai. That the tzaddikim will bask in this light in the times after Mashiach. La'asid lavai, it was put away. But Hashem did not destroy that light. Once again, this light was a concept of not being destroyed. Hashem didn't take it away forever. Hashem put it away, but it's that light that a person is able to earn the right, and it's put away for these tzaddikim that earn the right and the privilege during their lifetimes to see and use this light. And the Medrash Tanchuma in Parshas Noach tells us that these people, you know who these people are, who are zeicha to actually get a taste of this light even during their lifetime, people that are able to see some of this light. It is put aside for those people who are magia, who toil in Torah, and they lose sleep over their learning. They lose their sleep, and they sacrifice food and drink for the sake of Torah. These are the people that get to see this light. And it was for these people it would seem that the light of La'asid Lavai was created for these tzaddikim, for people that sacrifice for Torah. And we know that the purpose of the Beis HaMikdash, the essence of the Beis HaMikdash, and the real purpose of the Beis HaMikdash was to uplift Klal Yisrael through the Kalim and through the Avodah. That was the purpose of the Beis HaMikdash. That was the purpose of the Mishkan. And the menorah, which was in the Beis HaMikdash, which was in the Mishkan, the menorah actually emanated this light that we spoke about. The menorah, the light of the menorah, was a spark off the Or Haganos. It was that light, the light that was put away, that very special light with Hashem had created the world with that light, and then saw that it had to be put away. The menorah actually emanated that Or Haganos, the light that was put away. And it was a spiritual light. It was totally a non-physical light. And this was a reason, says in Nesivos Shalom, why only Hashem was able to make the menorah, because the menorah was not in a physical world. The light of the menorah actually was the Or HaShechina. And only Hashem is able to produce something which emanates and produces the Or HaShechina. So Moshe Rabbeinu saw that this is too difficult for a human being to do. How are we going to build this menorah? How are we going to encapsulate and capture an Or HaShechina? So Hashem said, you take this block of gold, you throw it into the fire, and I will produce the menorah, because I, Kaviyachal, Hashem says, I can produce something which from that an Or HaShechina will emanate. And Moshe found this extremely difficult. And the menorah also, that is the reason why the menorah was included and thrown in with these other spiritual things that we mentioned, this other spiritual group of kalim and things like the Ruach HaKodesh and the Eish and the Aron and the Kruvim. The Aron was put together with all of that because the Aron was actually just as spiritual as all those kalim. The Aron was a piece of spirituality. The Aron was something that the human being could not create. The menorah was something that emanated Or HaShechina, so it went along with the Aron, with the Kruvim, with the Ruach HaKodesh. That is why the menorah was nignaz. The menorah was put away. It wasn't destroyed. It was put aside with all the other spiritual things, like the Aron, the Eish, and the Ruach HaKodesh. And this is also what the Medrash means when the Medrash said that Aaron HaKohen, we said, Aaron, don't worry. You're not bringing the karbonos of the Chanukas HaMizbeach, of the Chanukas HaMishkan. Don't worry about it, Aaron HaKohen. And this is what the Medrash means when Aaron HaKohen was told that you have even more than the Nesiim. We said, right, the Nesiim only had karbonos and that was gone once the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. Because Aaron HaKohen, you're going to light the Ner Tamid. You're going to light that Ner Maravi. You're going to light the menorah. You're going to light something, the Or HaShechina, which is there forever. The Or HaShechina is, of course, never batal. The Or HaShechina, there is no churban on the light of the Shechina. The Ner Maravi, which represents a Ner Tamid, something which is always lit, that is the greatest sign of Nitzchias. That is the greatest sign that the Or HaShechina is always there, just waiting for us, that Hashem is always with us. And so too, we realize that we have no existence without the light of Hashem. The light of Hashem is there. It's permanent. So while the kalim of the Beis HaMikdash were destroyed, the menorah was nignaz because it represents and it showed us that we cannot exist without the Or HaShechina. And Aaron HaKohen had the privilege that would last forever. The Nesiim had the karbonos. They had karbonos. They had other things in the Mishkan. They had things in the times of the Beis HaMikdash. But only Aaron HaKohen and the Kohanim had the privilege of something, the Or HaShechina, that would last forever. And that's something we could always, if we want to get a taste of that, we have to work on it. We have to sacrifice for Torah. We have to do things that show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we're interested in the Or HaShechina. And let us hope that we'll actually be able to see the entire light that was put away. We should be able to see it in the time of Mashiach, and we should understand, we should be able to see it firsthand, the present and the privilege that Aaron HaKohen was given in our Parsha, a privilege that was greater than anything else, that happened at the Chanukas HaMishkan. Aaron HaKohen had that privilege that you are going to light the thing that represents the Or HaShechina, something that every person should strive throughout their entire life. And let us hope that we are able to see the great light of the Shechina, the great light of Mashiach, the Mehera B'Yameinu, very soon in our days.